Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Cloudy Sheep and we are playing Hearts of Iron 4 in the Russian Revolution edition, and in fact we just won the Second Russian Civil War. So the Soviet Union is gone. We as Russia itself have won the war. So this time it will be a little bit of post Civil War rebuilding of our forces and such, and then we'll have to decide a little bit of what we do next, because there is one historic development in this game. So you'll notice it's early 1939, and you'll notice that here is the German Republic. So as you might remember from the previous episode, so Austria resisted the Anschluss, and Germany declared war on Austria, which dragged it into a war with Italy and Hungary on the one side and Germany on the other side. And then Germany tried to grab the Sudetenland, so this area in the Czechoslovakia, and the Allies, so UK and France, actually guaranteed Czechoslovakia over this, so they backed it. They didn't go for the historical appeasement, and Germany attacked anyway in an actual war, which then dragged it into war against the Allies. And of course it collapsed under that combined pressure of all of these things in very early on. I believe it was in 1938. So yeah, that was a pretty harsh time for Germany, and then the south of Germany actually revolted by this German Republic. So the fully 100% democratic Konrad Adenauer-led actual post-war sort of German situation. But yeah, so it's now the German Republic. It's democratic, which means the democratic blob is by far the largest. It has the UK, it has France, it has Germany, so a very strong alliance actually. So we'll need to watch out a little bit about whether we want to be part of this and actually take a war against Italy, because for now we are unaligned, non-aligned, as you can see over here. But we could of course now try to get either, well, communism would be a bit pointless because we just won against that, but we could go fascist, or we could go democratic, and either of those would have an appeal, I think, for the rest of the game. So either a big fascist Russia against the rest of Europe, or a democratic alliance and just clearing up Italy and Japan. But either way, we'll have to reorganize our forces a little bit. Right now they are a little bit disorganized, and I just want to make sure that all of this is going alright. Due to the Civil War, we got hold of a lot of equipment, specifically infantry equipment, a little bit of motorized as well, I believe, but not too much. Artillery, anti-tank, all of these are things that we now have. So with our army experience, we should be rescheduling a couple of things. Can also make promises of peace, which would mean war support goes down, but stability increases. Stability has increased actually, I think, by winning the Civil War, so that's good to see. So let's firstly go through our armies, make sure that their organization is alright, and then we'll see about that. So the first army, which is the one that includes the rather specialist mountain divisions, and I think I should actually go over here, edit these, and tell them to be elites, so they'll be a bit prioritized for reinforcements of equipment, specifically infantry equipment, because we're producing generation 2 infantry equipment now, and that is much better than the historical one. So let's look over here. So yeah, you have basic, weapons 2, weapons 1, weapons 2. We are producing weapons 2, and I would like that to go to the mountain divisions first, because they are a little bit inherently stronger anyway. So yeah, there's that, and that is the first army. So actually the strongest army, I would say. All of you guys are trained or regular, which I like to see, so there's no no other unit. Let's also briefly check our diplomatic situation. I don't think we could declare war on anyone. No, we would need to justify war goals first. So we'll have to think about that a little bit as well. I think one of the historical challenges of Russia, if you want, has been to get an ice-free harbor, because the Baltic and the Nordic here is a bit difficult. So it has always been sort of a goal of Russian foreign policy in the 19th century to get Istanbul or the Straits over here to gain access to the Mediterranean and such. So that might be something that we are looking at in the future. Turkey over here is part democratic, part non-aligned, so it might be a decent target. What would it take us to conquer Istanbul? Is it Istanbul? Yeah. 29 political power would last a couple of days. So yeah, I think that might be one of our primary targets. So what I'll do is I'll tell the first army over here to develop a front in the Caucasus region, be part of that, and develop a plan to just generally advance through this area. So first of all, to maybe just do a general advance and then try to go to Ankara. It's not that we are necessarily doing that, but I just want to reorganize the army a little bit. Second army does include a couple of units that are still considered green, and some of these are not very advanced to the next level, which would be trained. You have one regular even, which it is a little bit of an advantage. We'll just use the second army, I guess, against Poland. And that'll be that, and just formally I'll tell you to prepare for an advance. That's the second army. The third army then, I think we'll just probably tell you guys to watch out for Manchukuo. Yeah, like such. And of course half of you should actually be watching out against Japan specifically. Nope, sorry, just over here, so half of you will be assigned to this. 2 divisions? Oh no, 12 divisions, it's just a bit funny passing. Okay, and you should be, so one cavalry unit should be part of the tank army group, which I think should be fine, and we'll tell one of you guys to be part of the third army here. And that should be, yeah, that's alright. Good. Second army, first army, third army. The fourth army is there as well. Yeah, you know what? We'll actually tell the fourth army to do this. I'm sorry about that. So fourth army, it's your job to do this, and half of you we'll tell to be part of this front line. Good. And then the third army is actually going to be stationed in the west, so it's a bit cleaner that way. And you know what, you can be guarding against Romania. And just for the sake of it, we'll also be preparing for an advance. Good, that's the fourth army. The fifth army should also be part of Army Group 2. I didn't realize we never had that. Yeah, I think it's still fine to tell you to be part of the, or to guard against Mongolia, which is of course still communist, so I think to some extent it makes sense to define a way like that. And again, we'll take half of you and tell you guys over here to be part of an advance against Tanubao, and all of you, we will tell to advance to the Mongolian capital, just in case we will want to free up those nations as well. Good. That does leave us with a reserve army, and I think now I would like to do a couple of things. Namely, I would like to take all of the guys over here that are green and not very close to advancing. So on this front it seems to be 2 divisions, and we'll place these into a new corps over here, or a new army group actually, and we'll take the reserve army over here and fill this up again. And you know what, I think I'll actually take all of these green units, and from the reserve army We'll then fill that up again so that we have the more experienced troops actually in this group over here. That's absolutely fine. Over here again a couple of green units over the little clover leaf. Over here quite a couple of them actually, 14 units. And that of course was a result of the Civil War, during which we deployed quite a couple of divisions with minimal training, just so that they were deployed rapidly rather than anything else. Okay, so that does leave a number of divisions, 21, that have too little training, and I think a number of these again we can sort of see that they are very, very close to advancing again. So no, actually not you, but you. Yeah, so that's very close. How about this? This 81%, this 81%, so I think that's alright. So you guys be part of this, because you'll earning your promotion. You'll be earning your promotion very quickly. Except was there one? It's not that material, but you here are only 63%, so you'll be back to that. And one of you I think was higher than 81, so you're here, that's fine. 6 divisions that are not very advanced, whereas everyone else is. You know what, here it seems to be okay too. 15 divisions again that are then again a bit more better placed in the reserve army. Yeah, that's fine to me. And the reserve army we'll simply tell to... Is our capital still Stalingrad? It seems to be. So we'll tell you to go to Stalingrad and just be part of the reserve. And likewise the tank army, we will be placing those in Kiev just to be part of any potential advance into Western Europe. Now decisions are available, again promises of peace I don't think we need right now, so let's keep that in mind. Planes are there. We can and should disband these units, because otherwise I'll forget where they are and just ignore them entirely. So that's fine. You disband, you disband. And I don't think there are any other ones, so that's fine. Good. Okay. We have a lot of equipment, specifically infantry equipment, so what I would like to do, not that much motorized equipment though, some light tanks, light support. Let's make sure we are producing the right stuff. We are producing a lot of infantry equipment. We are converting a lot of light tank units, and more of them than we are producing, so that's fine as well. We'll be seeing to increase our motorized equipment a little bit, but other than that it seems fine. We are producing or constructing, I think, at least a couple of military factories, which I also think is fine, but more importantly we should be looking at constructing a couple of dockyards, because if we are going to challenge either the Allies or anyone else, we should really be trying to build up our naval capacity, and I think we'll just try to use the highest infrastructure ones for that, because that should be fine. Good. So you know what, let's start producing these right away. And again, Kharkov, we are building a couple of military factories and a couple of ones we will need, so I think that's fine to distribute it like that. Good. So, recruitment. We are currently recruiting a couple of motorized divisions, and they will be placed in Stalingrad, and I think I'd like you to... No, I can't do that. Okay. So that's fine, but nevertheless we should be recruiting a lot of more infantry divisions, just to make sure that we are, you know, getting good training out of these. So 6 divisions over here, 3, just a couple, 6, yeah, so 12. So that means we have 12 units, 12 infantry units that are under-trained, as I would say. So let's make sure that we are training those. And I want to just make sure that this is a bit cleaned up. so that we don't have all of these templates that we're using here, because I don't think we need them. So these ones we are using, and that's fine. So yeah, let's train a couple of you. At the very least 12 divisions should be fine, and just one run, and yeah, just place them in starting crowd because why not? That should be okay. Good. And you actually have normal priority, that's fine. You have high priority, that's also okay, although you seem to have all of the equipment you need. Good, good, good. Also the reserve army, I think you have about, how many? I can actually check this way, right? So how many of these do we have? 9. So you know what, let's train 15. There we go. And I don't care where. So just, these really are simple units. Whoop, sorry. That's not what I meant. These are simple units. As you can see, they only use infantry equipment. That's fine. A bit of a filler material, and we do have a lot of infantry equipment over, so I think that's fine. In fact, we might even want to train more of these. So instead of 15 plus 24, that'd be 39. Yeah, so 2 more entire groups of that I think should be alright. And then again we can train, well, we can train more more mountain divisions as well. And you know what? That I think is very fine. How do we look in terms of special forces then? We are fielding 70 and 80 allowed. So yeah, okay, we can train 1 more of you. Which we will do. Alright, so that probably still leaves us at a lot of infantry equipment left over. And a lot of artillery and quite a bit of support equipment as well. So you know what? We will be training more normal infantry divisions. And I would suggest that we are training an entire new group of infantry, which we'll be placing in Kiev. And then we probably, you see 10,000, and we're still brushing it off like that. So yeah, quite a lot of stuff left over. I think we should be shifting some of our production soon. Probably a little less support equipment would do, like such. And then we do have heavy tanks, so let's briefly unassigned divisions, really. Oh, okay, yeah, you be part of the tank army, please. Good. Right, so we do have some heavy tanks, 126. I think it will make sense to edit this template and duplicate it. So this is a new division where we'll be replacing, or adding rather, an armored group of heavy tanks. Combat width is too much though, so we'll remove 1. That would be an interesting division. It has slightly less organization, a little bit more soft attack, quite a bit of hard attack more. Good breakthrough, very good armor in fact, good piercing, so it's a bit more of a harder unit really. It doesn't do much else. What's your speed really? I think your speed is not such that we would want to edit it into our armor divisions, right? So if we were to change it over here, we'd probably see a big decrease in speed, yeah, from 12. So it really can only be, I think, something where the speed is close to this anyway. We might want to use it in our cavalry divisions. Now that would be an interesting choice. They are a little bit faster. Yeah, I think that would be a decent addition. So we'll duplicate this division. We will add the heavy tank over here, and this will be our new cavalry divisions. And we'll actually add a bit of cavalry over here, just to make sure that we are fulfilling the combat width. requirements. You obviously get recon, you obviously get maintenance companies and support artillery. Anything else? Nope, you don't even have the power to do that. But that would be very nice. And I guess we could call this, or use a naming template for this, that is Guards Mechanized? No, that... Yeah, you know what, let's use that. And this is gonna be a heavy division. We might as well not actually use cavalry over here. Let's think about what happens if we instead add artillery. Okay, so that would drop the speed a little bit. So you know what, let's not do that. Let's stick with the cavalry. 20 combat with very high armor, piercing, still moving rather quickly. Good division overall, so let's use that. And you'll be prioritized for good equipment. And your symbol will be one to reflect the armor, of course. So this one I think is alright. Good. Okay, that seems to be working for me. So let's train one of these, or two of these. I don't know, that's not one. How much equipment do we have? Heavy tanks. So at some point, yeah, okay, so we can train 3 just like that. Good. I like to see that, and that should be lovely. Good. Good, 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 good. So also the tank army, yeah, you have a couple of tanks, but I think you're alright. Good, good. Alright, so let's keep it running a little bit just to see where we stand in terms of our equipment. Heavy tanks are low. All of the other stuff seems to be fine. We have a lot of motorized equipment, so that makes me think that we could train a couple of more tank divisions. Yeah. Okay, so what are we missing the most? Actual light tanks, okay. And that should not be the case, so let's train definitely fewer of those. Because we want to keep on converting light artillery to, light tanks of the previous generation to light tanks. So in fact, it appears that we should only be training one of these guys. So the other one is of course in Stalingrad. Oh no, actually Kiev I think is where most of our armored stuff is. Good. Yeah, that seems to be working for me. Now, where do we want to go? Very soon we'll have some political power, and I think one of the first changes will be the political advisor to either fascist demagogue or democratic reformer, so that we can join one of the remaining factions, or you even found our own. And I'm leaning towards fascism. It's not entirely in line with the theme of, you know, trying to be trying to get a Russian democratic reformer. But I think all in all, we should also briefly have a look at which army is this now? The 4th army. Okay, you please develop an offensive line that sort of goes like this. And this 12 divisions, which 12? No, you guys, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm leaning towards fascism and trying to get on to the Allies, simply because I think it would be the more fun scenario to get on against these guys. So, but we'll have to see about that. Thank you for now for watching, and to see you again next time. Bye bye.